Well, good evening, sports fans. I'm broadcasting to you live from a beautiful little spot called Chapman's Pool, which is about 6-7 miles south-southwest of Wareham. Lovely little spot. And this is the spot where today I have finally, after much walking around, finally finished the Southwest Coast Path, all 630 miles of it. Today's been hard as a lot of the others have. I thought Dorset was going to be a bit flatter, and it has been, but Dorset is not flat, so don't come to Dorset and walk the coast path expecting flatness, because that's not what you're going to get. So it's been a project for about a year. I know that a lot of you have probably bored rigid with endless posts on Facebook about this, but it's something I've really been going for the last year or so. I got pissed on New Year's Eve and told Emma I was going to finish the coast path, and I don't think she believed me, but this one actually stuck just for once. She's used to me saying that sort of thing, and then it never happens. But this one really has happened, and started it really in earnest in January time, and lots of trips away. My wife has been very patient about it, and here we are, 630 miles finished, and I've walked in all sorts of different conditions. I've seen the sunrise in places like Heartland, and near Dartmouth I've seen it set. I've walked in the dark, I've walked in the rain, I've walked in the hail, although funnily the only place I did actually get hailed on was in hail. Hilarious irony. I've walked with a torch in my hand, I've walked on mud, sand, I've walked through puddles that are so deep that you just can't avoid them, so you know that for the next sort of 10 miles you're just going to have waterlogged boots, and even if you change your socks you're still going to have waterlogged boots. I'll just change this back to the view so that you don't have to look at me anymore. It's been an absolutely fantastic experience. I managed to keep it going through lockdown. Once we were able to travel again, use the car, I started making short trips to places on the north coast of Cornwall and the south coast near Mevagissey, which means I've been able to get it finished despite all this carry on with the virus. It's been absolutely fantastic, and those of you that know me will know that it's, you know, I'm a pretty cynical, pragmatic sort of a person, not in the least bit spiritual. But I would say to anybody who's thought about doing this path, you know, that it really will, I don't want to say change your life, that sounds a little bit cheesy, but it's been a phenomenal experience. And I'm looking really now at sort of doing it again from scratch. I haven't completed it in any particular order or in any particular direction. Some parts of it I've walked clockwise, some anti-clockwise. I've really done it on the basis of, because so many times I've had to stay away, where could I get a cheap Premier Inn room, to be honest? Nothing more exciting than that. And much of possible I've done it on public transport, buses, trains, ferries on a couple of occasions. And some of the sights that you see when you're doing this, you know, particularly in the winter or the autumn, the late evenings, the early mornings, a little bit like here now, you can see there's nobody here. And these are places that are difficult to get to if you're using the car. So walking through them, walking to them, and arriving and looking down and seeing them sort of open up in front of you really is quite an experience. Some of the things I've seen during the last year or so are going to stay with me for the rest of my days. It's been absolutely fantastic. Besides marrying my dear wife, of course, and the arrival of my child, it's probably been the thing I've enjoyed most in my life. And anybody that's thinking about doing it, I would say go for it. It is possible to do it largely on public transport, which means you can be dropped at point A and then picked up from point B if you plan it properly. And I've not, touched wood, see what happens tonight on the way back to Plymouth, because I've got a 4-hour journey ahead of me, but I've managed not to get stranded anywhere the whole time, not managed to get lost. The only time I ran into any problems was back in February when there was a gale forecast in Seaton, so I packed it in and didn't actually go walking that day. But other than that, I've managed always to get the walk done that I've wanted to do. It's been absolutely top class, and anyone who's been thinking about doing it, I really can't recommend it enough. Absolutely wonderful. And now I'm going to get drunk, and cheerio to you all.